Okay,
Okay.
okay. Welcome to the next part of the show. Got my next featured guest. We have Tasha Starkey, and thank you so much for joining me on this breakfast show here at XLR Radio. Now, you are an ambulance paramedic for the West Midlands Ambulance Service. How did it all begin for you, being a paramedic?
So about 4 years ago, I saw that West Mids were offering like a student paramedic program.
Yeah,
Um, and I was reading through it and I thought it looked really interesting. So I just applied for it on NHS jobs, thinking that 18 years old, I'm probably not really gonna get it.
yeah.
But surprisingly, I did, and yeah, um, I've been doing it ever since.
Oh, wonderful. So, the West Midlands Ambulance Service, that covers Hereford and Worcester and Staffordshire. And do you enjoy the travelling, like meeting people and going from place to place? Do you like that element of the job?
Yeah, so obviously I'm based in Birmingham, so we can travel around the
Hmm.
area, and then sometimes we find ourselves sort of dotted around, like so we can end up in Stoke or Warwick Way, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're like on tour. That's
Yeah,
what we
okay,
say.
wonderful. And you briefly appeared on BBC's Ambulance on it was the primetime show. How was the response since your appearance on that?
It was incredible. I honestly didn't expect the response from it. It was just ridiculous. I still have people messaging me on Twitter every single day
Yeah.
saying, "Oh my God, I've just watched Ambulance. That was incredible. I can't believe you went through that." So yeah, no, the support has been overwhelming.
Yeah, and you got quite a following on Twitter, as you said, and you've even got your
Uh,
own fan club as well, dedicated to yourself. Did you know that?
yeah, yeah, bless them.
Great stuff. And what's it like being one of the youngest paramedics? Because I know you're very young, and also, would you like to see more female paramedics be recruited as well?
I don't think there's a major problem with recruiting females, to
Yeah,
be honest. We've got quite a lot of females in the service.
sure.
I wouldn't know the figures like offhand. Um, but no, it is great. It's great being young in the job.
Yeah,
I've got years and years left. So there's loads of things that I'll be able to do. But to be honest, I don't really feel 22 years old anymore. I feel a lot a
yeah,
lot older than I
sure.
am. So
Uh,
that's probably one down a little bit.
and the West Midlands Ambulance Service, they have recently done a recruitment drive with nearly 20,000 student applications. Overwhelming that is, isn't it, on the application numbers?
Yeah, yeah, no, it is great. We always have a really good response when we put out the jobs, but I think this one's topped it.
Great stuff. And how do you switch off from the incidents as the one shown on ambulances? You know, when you get into incidences, do you have to switch off mentally from those incidents?
I think the incidents such as Belgrave, that was really difficult to switch off on. But it just sort of takes time to get
Yeah,
over things like that. But normal for us is like when we go to a cardiac arrest and someone dies, you do sort of you don't get used to someone dying. You get used to sort of the feelings and emotions surrounding it. So you just have to move on from it
yeah,
because otherwise you're just going to be an emotional wreck. So
sure.
talking with friends, family, going out with my partner, stuff like that, then yeah, no, you just got to do things to
Yeah.
keep your mind occupied.
Understandably. And there's a few questions here to do with strokes and heart attacks. They have been in the media. What's a difference between a stroke and a heart attack, and what is the best method if you suspect someone of having a stroke or a cardiac arrest?
So a stroke, you've got the fast symptoms, the face, arm, speech,
Yeah,
time. So someone may present with slurred speech, a facial droop. They may not be able to communicate properly. They may suddenly not be able to walk correctly. And you've just got to call us, call
yeah,
999 straight away. Don't dwell on it. Call us straight away so we can come and assess and find out what's going on.
sure.
And then a heart attack, that's when you've got a clot stuck in one of your blood vessels, basically in your heart, and it stops the blood flow getting around your heart and going around the rest of your body. So part of the heart starts to die. So you can experience pain such as chest pain, epigastric pain, which is the top of your belly, pain in your back, your shoulders, your neck, your arm. And again, it's best to just call us. You
Okay.
shouldn't really take the risk with chest pain.
So that's face, arm, speech, and telephone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
face, arms, speech, time for
a
stroke,
time.
and then if you get any chest pain symptoms, you should call 999.
Sure. On a light-hearted note, it was in the papers that they're saying if you did CPR to the Macarena, staying alive, it slightly improves the chances of recovery. Is there an element of truth in that at all?
So when some people do CPR and they haven't been trained in it, sometimes the speed might not be correct, or you've got to have something what we call recall of the chest. So when you push down on the chest needs to spring back up, so you're getting a good sort of rhythm to it. And if you do it too slowly, then it's the heart's not beating right. So you just got to do it to that sort of tune. Or there's loads. There's like the Staying Alive. There's what's the other one?
I know there's a Macarena as well. That was up there as well.
I didn't know the Macarena was on there.
It was on there, according to the news. Yeah.
Okay,
So
I'll try that next time.
we'll come back to that one, shall we? And we've had recent heatwave conditions. What is the best way for people to cope with the heatwave, especially like the older people, older generation?
Yeah. So just try and remain as cool as possible. Keep your windows open. You should be drinking at least 2 to 3 litres of water, especially during this hot weather. And just try not to go out and exert yourself too much, running around, shopping.
Sure.
Heavy exercises are probably not going to help you.
Okay.
But it is hard, unfortunately.
Yeah. So you, not only are you a paramedic, you also drive the ambulance. What is the best manoeuvre for drivers to do if an ambulance is approaching?
So if you hear an ambulance is approaching, try and pull to the left if you can. Don't suddenly slam on your brakes. Don't swerve. Try and remain as calm as possible. We're trained to drive around you, so don't panic. Like it's not your problem for us to sort of struggle. So just pull to the left if you can. Don't bump up the car because you're going to hurt your wheels. You're going to hurt your car, and we don't want you to do that. And just wait for us to pass. Don't tailgate us. Don't follow us through the traffic. And you'll be absolutely fine.
Great advice there. Thank you very much for that one. And do you get a lunch break from your duties, or are you always on the standby?
So in West Mids, we do get a lunch break. We get 45 minutes. So it opens in the 4th hour of our shift, and then it closes about the 8th hour into the shift. So if you haven't had a break in those 8 hours, then you're taken completely off the run, and then you can either choose whether you want a disturbed break or an undisturbed break. And if you have a disturbed break, you get called up for jobs with like cardiac arrest. Yeah. So if there was a cardiac arrest on the corner, then the crew would be available to go regardless.
Sure. And also in the media, we often hear of reports of difficult patients, especially intoxicated patients. Do you need good people skills to deal with patients who are like under the influence of alcohol, have had a bit too much to drink, so to say?
I don't really think it's people skills. I think it's patience.
Yeah, patience.
Really, that you've got to have. People have been getting drunk for forever, haven't they? Really, and you just got to accept that it's part of the job, and these people are still vulnerable. And just because it's self-inflicted doesn't mean that they don't deserve care. So we've got to look after them and just be mindful of that. But they can be a bit violent. They can be a bit rude. So you just take everything with a pinch of salt, really.
Sure. And are you relieved to see there's a new bill being passed through the Commons to see tougher sentences on assaults on emergency workers?
Yeah, for sure. It's something that's been needed for years and years and years. There's been some really nasty injuries for the police officers, for us, for other NHS staff, nurses, doctors. So, yeah, no, definitely think it's about time, really.
Sure. And are body cameras a positive thing for paramedics to wear as well on duty?
Body cameras, they're a difficult subject. I personally would wear a body camera and wear them the same as the police. So when the police feel it's necessary to turn it on, they'll turn the camera on. We won't have them on all the time. I think a lot of people are worried about patient confidentiality and stuff like that. So it's only at the point where the paramedic feels, or the technician feels worried, feels concerned, or something's escalated, then they can turn it on, and then it's a good backup, really. We have cameras all around our truck, so if there's ever any incidents, like if there's ever an RTC or violence outside the truck, then we've got footage of that. So I think they are a good backup.
Yeah.
They will. I think they will come in, to be honest.
Yeah. And in recent events during the World Cup, we have seen over enthusiastic England supporters, trampling on emergency vehicles, doing damage. How does this make you feel, this behaviour? And if you had a chance to tell them about this behaviour, what would you say to them?
I just think they're idiots. Like, why would you do that? The thing is, they're probably not thinking at that time. I don't think they've specifically gone out to jump on an ambulance or a police car and break it. I think they've just thought, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm just gonna do it. I don't think they've really thought about it. I don't think I hope they didn't intentionally go out to ensure a vehicle's off the road. You know what I mean? So I think it's just they've just got too involved in the hype.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Okay, and we saw on your BBC One episode of Ambulance, you have a very special bond with your mother. I bet she is very proud of all your achievements. Yeah. Ah, bless.
Yeah, she is.
And I'm going to clear something up now. On the episode, you said something about 1 degree or 1 degrees. Have you ever found out what the answer to that is?
Yeah, it's 1 degree.
1 degree, yes. And how important is coffee on a paramedic shift? Is it a lifesaver?
For me personally, no, it's tea. Tea is my love.
Yeah.
I can have cups of tea every 10 minutes. That'll do me. But if I'm really, really tired, coffee is a godsend. So.
Wonderful. So the NHS has just celebrated 70 years. Do you see the NHS having another 70 years?
I'd like to think so. I don't know. I'm not convinced. I think it'd be really difficult for any government party to disband the NHS. Do you know what I mean? Make it private. I think it'd be incredibly difficult. I think there's elements of it that will become more privatised, but no, I'm really hoping that there's another 70 years.
Okay, and just got one more to wrap it up. Again, in being reported on social media, a man was found dangling high up from a lamppost while under the influence. What other unusual incidences have you attended over the years, if you're allowed to share with us?
Obviously, I've got to be a bit careful there. Things like people like being drunk and walking in the canals, finding themselves in really strange places, like the guy hanging off the lamppost, people falling in really strange places. Like, I can't go into too much detail.
Sure, yeah, that's fine. Great stuff. So, we play a bit of a game on this show. Basically, it's called the 50-50 second challenge. So you get 50 seconds to answer as many 50-50 questions as possible. So if I said to you train or plane, you'd have to pick one or the other. And the record's 14. So would you be up for playing this game?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got 50 seconds on the clock, and I'll give you two answers, and you just choose one. And if you don't like either one of them, you just say pass.
Okay.
So, we've got 50 seconds on the clock, and I'm just going to start it now. The record's 14. So, train or plane?
Plane.
Saturdays or Sundays?
Sunday.
The Beatles or the Rolling Stones?
The Beatles.
The glass of wine or a pint of lager?
Glass of wine.
And Birmingham or London?
London.
Horror films or comedy films?
Comedy.
Ham or mushroom?
Ham.
The ABBA or Bee Gees?
What did you say, sorry?
Yeah, ABBA or the Bee Gees?
The Bee Gees.
Macarena or Saturday Night?
Saturday Night.
Spiders or Daddy Longlegs?
Daddy Longlegs.
Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Sweet or sour?
Sweet.
Jammy Dodgers or chocolate digestives?
Jammy Dodgers.
A cruise or a trip to the moon?
A cruise.
Yes, well done. You scored 14, so you tied on that one. So
Ah,
well done on that one. Thank you so much for taking time out to speak to us today. Great answers there. And as a special thank you from us at the station, we've got a few vouchers we'd like to give to yourself and the team today for
thank
taking
you.
time off. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much, Natasha Starkey from the West Midlands Ambulance Service here on the Danny Sun radio show. Thank you so much.
It's all right.